Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Super Mario 64. Last time we finished up Big Boo's Haunt and we got ourselves our final cap of the game, the Metal Cap. And this episode, we're gonna actually start exploring Hazy Maze Cave now since we've been here twice and ignored it both times. Once to warp out and once to grab the Metal Cap. So this time, let's go ahead and swim with the beast in the cavern. So let's make our way down there, shall we? And we're actually gonna take a nice little shortcut because that elevator kind of takes a bit. So I'm going to be very careful when I do this because this is actually a little cool clip that you can go ahead and do. And it actually will make it easy for you to get another power star if you want a sequence break. But I'm just doing this really as a shortcut. So if you triple jump right here and then you can wall jump, you can actually jump over the barrier here, which allows you to get down to where Dory is. And that's what we want because we need to go down there anyways. So I'm going to wait for this elevator. And then I can triple jump off of this and make our way down. So actually, if you aim your jump just right, the force will be strong enough for Mario to push that switch without using Metal Cap, which can sequence break the game a bit, allowing you to get that star without using the said Metal Cap. I do believe I did that back in the Elpier League playthrough, which we did a couple years ago on the channel. So if you want to actually see me do that trick, check out the Elpier League playthrough of Super Mario 64. They do show off a lot of stuff with that game. So check out that play if you want to see more glitches, technically. There's a lot of glitches that I abuse in that playthrough, that's for sure. I always like doing that, because it shows off a different look at the game, too. Shows it a nice technical level. But now we swam with Dory just a little bit longer and got ourselves a star. And now it's time for 8 red coins. So, you know what that means. It's time for the 100 red coins, both at once. 100 coins, red coins. 100 red coins would be a little extreme. I mean, that would be helpful for the red coins and the 100 coin missions, because you can kind of knock out both real quick. Just grab a couple red coins and boom, there's a 100 coin star. Hey, let's go ahead and read this sign. Work elevator. For those who get off here, grab the pole to the left and slide carefully down. Or you can just kind of jump down and then just do a belly slide. So you don't actually need to take the pole. It's safer, but it's not required. So I'm not going to do that. I just want to make myself look cool and just slide down. So this is where our star will spawn, and actually this is where we're going to collect all those coins, but for now, let's go ahead and read this sign. So this is just a nice little floor map of where we need to go, and there's a map right here to our left. So right now, as you can see by the arrow, we're here in this maze area. So if we go right, we'll actually enter the maze. If we go left, we'll be going down the black hole elevator, as I call it. So we're going to actually enter this maze because there's a lot of coins in this maze area. It's ridiculous. So, as you can see here by looking up, this is the maze, and there are 3 exit points. The one on the right will take you back out to where we just came from, and the other 2 will actually lead to power stars. So, we're going to interact with those 2 pathways a little bit later. Inside the green block is the amazing Metal Cap, which we already know about. So, we don't really need to worry about too much, but hey, this also tells us we won't be catching on fire, which is very convenient, since we didn't learn that back in the switch room. But you can't swim with the Metal Cap, which is a blessing and a curse. It really depends on how you want to use it. Danger ahead. Beware of the strange cloud. Don't inhale. If you feel fate, run for high ground and fresh air. So, the circle is shelter, as you can see here on the map, and the arrow is the entrances and the exits. So, near one of those circles is also an exit, so it's a little confusing on the map, because they're right next to each other, so you think one is actually the other. So let's go ahead and grab our Metal Cap here, and let's go this way, because we can. And here in this hole actually are Monty Moles, but they don't really give you anything. You can just kind of kill them for fun. So if you want to kill Monty Moles for fun, well, you can go ahead and do that. But I want to go ahead and attack these flying Sniffets, because that's interesting. We've seen Sniffets in Super Mario Bros. 2 USA on the NES, and they weren't flying, so to see them here flying is a nice touch. It's very different, that's for sure. But when you hit this blue coin switch, you need to get moving because they don't give you too much time for these blue coins. So make sure you're constantly moving and pay attention to where they spawn. It's very easy to lose track of where those coins spawn in particular. They're probably some of the hardest blue coins in the game to find after you hit the switch, if you want to be honest. I mean, half the time I missed them, so I'm glad you didn't miss them this time. But we already have 65 coins coming down to this maze. That's why I like coming down here for the 100 coins. There are just so many to give you here. And we're not done just yet. I'm actually going to be jumping up here in particular because there's going to be more coins behind this door. And they give you a nice little hint of that there is a ledge up there to grab because of the little moss on the wall. So that's a nice little hint, but Besides that, you would know that there's a door up there by just looking up and exploring. But you can't stay in this fog for too long because it can drain your health quite fast if you're not careful. So don't stay still for too long and constantly move around and get some air. Luckily, there's plenty of opportunities to get coins here because that will make your life a lot easier too. You want to get as many coins as you can if you're starting to just suffocate, because otherwise you're gonna die. Also, where did that other bat go? He just kind of disappeared. He flew off in this direction and then he just left. I don't like all these slopes here. Trying to work around these slopes is really annoying, to be honest. You slide around just a little too much for my liking. So I do give you a safe zone up here, which honestly is really not helpful at all, especially here. You can just kind of jump out of the fog. So I don't even recommend going to that safe zone. It's just kind of a waste of time. But let's make our way out of this maze, because we got enough coins at this point. We don't need to be here anymore, so just go ahead and leave, shall we? At this point, we just need to get a few more coins, and then we'll be done with the 100 coins particular. So let's just wall jump up here and get a better camera. Now here, I'm actually going to take a hit intentionally, because actually I need to wait for this eye to look at me, and then I'm going to take another hit and just run around a circle. I wanted him actually to look at me, and the only way to really do that, to do the circle, was to intentionally take damage and clip through him. That eyeball is really hard to kill. You don't need to kill that one, but I just prefer doing it because I'm right here, and it gives me a free 5 coins. So it just guarantees me enough coins to go ahead and get the 100 coins in this room while collecting the 8 red coins, which we'll actually do now. So we're actually doing the mission we were here to, well, intentionally do in the beginning. It's a miracle. But that's how it goes in Mario 64. You kind of just do what you feel like. It's very open like that, and that's what I like. And we did this again in Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube, but for a couple years, they kind of went to a more linear style. The Galaxy games were pretty linear, even though they were kind of open-ended. They weren't as open as Sunshine or 64, and even Sunshine to a degree was more linear than this game, so it wasn't as open. They didn't go back to a more exploratory sense until Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch. So it took them a couple years to get back to the more non-linear gameplay style for Mario, which, to be fair, really worked out for their favor because Mario Odyssey was one of the highly praised games of 2017. People loved it, including myself. It was my game of the year for that year. I enjoyed it that much. It was so good, and I'm so glad they did go back to that style. I would love to see Nintendo make another 3D Mario game in a more open world style like that game again, because that'd be great. But for now, we need to be careful because we only have 2 more coins to collect to get our 100 coins. I want to make sure we don't have the 100 coins star spawn on top of an area we kind of can't get. Because that's the thing I didn't mention at this point, but the last coin you collect for the 100 coins will spawn the star right above your head. So if you're not careful, you can have the star spawn in an area that is impossible to get. Particularly if you grab a coin above a metal grate that you're using to climb around, well, you just kind of made it impossible for you to grab that star. Oh, what the heck? That's the worst moment to get hit. See, that's what I'm talking about. The star spawns where the last coins dropped, and it's sometimes not the best place. That is a good case in example. Like foot right in mouth. Holy crap. So there were moments where you can get very bad spawns because in automation sections like that, platforms will still move. Or you can be unlucky to have the star spawn in an area that's impossible to get. Like when you're climbing up a metal grate, you can have it spawn on top, which is impossible to jump up to. So be careful where you grab your last coin, because you want to make sure you grab it in a place where it doesn't make the star technically spawn out of bounds. Guilty of that, especially here in Hazy Maze Cave. But now it's time for another star. Metalhead Mario Can Move. So this one you can technically sequence break into, like I was talking about with the first star of Hazy Maze Cave. If you time your jumps just right, you can actually fall down so fast. You can go underwater with Mario without using Metal Cap and activate this switch, which is what we're going to try to do. If I get it, that'd be nice, but I don't think I will. It's been a couple years since I last actually tried this, so we'll see if we can do it. I'm going to give it like 1 attempt, and then we're going to actually go get the Metal Cap and do this intentionally. Lacto, you okay over there? You seem to be having a little bit of a shaky situation. The camera really does not want to cooperate when you get too close to walls. That's the biggest complaint I have with the camera in this game. It is not aged well. And to be fair, the DS version also has that same problem. It is not the best with camera control. It's a little bit better there because you can hold down a button and have it snap behind your character a little bit easier compared to this game with the Mario camera, but it's still not perfect. So we can do one more jump. I know I'm wasting everyone's time, but we want to at least try this once because we're here, so we might as well. We barely missed it. I think I wouldn't have had enough speed to actually hit the switch underwater, but we were just a little bit too far off to the left, so we tried. At least it got us down here, so that's the important thing. Now let's actually make our way up to this ramp so we can get our metal cap and actually try it for real, the intended way. Let's go ahead and grab said metal cap and make our way back down the slope. So let's just do some dives because that's quick. And start walking. I like to use Mario Cam here because you can actually see underwater quite nicely. And you actually see the water down here, so it's just like looking through glass. It's a nice touch. But with the metal cap, we'll be able to hit the switch and open up this doorway. So now we can go ahead and grab ourselves our star by doing 2 long jumps and then just jumping for it. Simple as that. You want to be careful when you're doing your long jumps because if you miss an input and Mario does a normal jump over one of those pits, you're not going to make it. In fact, you will kill yourself. It's a guarantee. I've had that issue before, especially playing on the Virtual Console with a GameCube controller, because when you play with a GameCube controller on the Wii Virtual Console in particular, there is a problem where the L and R buttons have to be fully pressed down to actually have the button inputs red. So sometimes you feel like you have the L and R buttons pressed all the way down, and the button input should be red on the game, but you don't. So it kind of misses a click, and that can be very annoying. So I really don't like playing this game once in a while using a game controller. It's weird. I like how it feels in terms of comfort, but I also don't like how my button inputs can be randomly dropped. That's the big problem. So it just depends, really. But we just navigate through that maze, and we're taking our elevator up to a star. So once we get up here, then we can go ahead and grab said star we want, but there is another way to get to this one. So we exit from this door, and you can go ahead and grab onto this grate by just holding down the A button, which I do believe the sign does tell you how to do. Yes, it does. So if you hold down the A button, you can climb on things overhead, which will actually show back in Bob-Omb Battlefield. And it's still a weird place where you can do that. But this isn't the only way you can go ahead and get this star. You can actually get it from this layer in particular. So when we're down here, let's go ahead and kill the spider. Just get him out of my way. So if you wall jump off this wall, you can actually make it to this ledge. So that's already skipping the entirety of that maze to get up here. Now Mario camera, just to make things easier, we'll go ahead and long jump over here, grab the ledge, and collect our star. So you can wall jump your way up here. You can technically do it from the wall that's closer to the star too, but I just find the other one is easy to get. Also, we just did amazing emergency exit, so we did the other star. Oops. I always do this too. I'll collect 1 star early, so that's not a big deal because that's the next one we were going to do anyway. So let me grab a metal cap this time just to make things a little bit easier. It doesn't really matter we're collecting stars out of order because we're getting these anyways. I'm doing my best to collect these in the intended order the game has, but it's just so easy to collect the star in whatever order you feel like. So I'll sometimes do that without even trying. I'll just collect one out of order because it's just kind of there. So I'll just get it because it's quicker. Or just because I'm used to getting it already, so why not, right? But this one, you need to take the other exit here to the maze, the one that has the moss growing on the wall. So we took the one for the amazing exit. Now it's time for us to take the one for navigating the maze, which both are kind of the same thing if you want to be honest. It's just that you take 2 completely different exits to navigate the maze. It's kind of confusing when you think about it. We ride this platform all the way up, and here's our star. You can technically see this through the metal grate here, which we've been down once before, but that's where it is. You just have to ride the elevator, and then you can get it. So that was navigating the toxic maze. And now we got 50 power stars, and we can open yet another star door, and it's on the 3rd floor. We haven't even been to the 2nd floor yet. But hey, we found all the cap switches. That's nice. Thanks, game. We'll get to the 3rd floor eventually. For now, let's just hang out in the basement. It's nice down here. Unfortunately, though, it has some rolling rocks, so let's be careful not to get hit by those, shall we? That sign back there, by the way, do believe teaches you how to long jump in this level, so if you haven't done it for whatever reason at this point in the game, well, they tell you how to do it now. Oh man, those boulders hurt, but luckily I have a heart that's still activated on my side. I love how delayed those hearts can be. It's so good. But yeah, you won't jump up here, and there's a star. Simple as that, but at the same time, that's one of the harder stars to actually see. So, that's probably the one that you will most definitely miss in Hazy Maze Cave. But we're done. That's all you need to do. So, let's get out of here. And we actually collected enough stars for our friend Nips to appear again. After you collect 50 stars, Nips will appear back here in the basement. So this is the second and final time we'll be chasing him, because he only has 2 stars for us. I don't know how I missed. I thought for sure I would have grabbed him. But we'll get him this time. Come on, Nips. Get over here. Oh, just barely missed. Sometimes if you outrun him, it's impossible to grab because he'll just do a U-turn. And right there, he kind of did, because by the time I was ready to grab him, he just made a hard left. Alright, this is the way I actually want him to go. It's so easy to get Nips in this wall. It's ridiculous. No, no, no! Not you again. I'm in a great hurry, can't you see? I've no time to squabble over stars. Here, have it. I never meant to hide it from you. It's just that I'm in such a rush. That's it. That's all. Now, I must be off. Ow! Let me go. You are kind of grammatically correct with all your words there, but Nips, can you get some better speech? Because the way you worded a lot of things, kind of confusing, to be honest. It's like, I've did not need to be there in one of your sentences. I have another star for you instead of I've have another star. Like, I've another star for you. It's like, dude, grammar. Can you speak it? You can't speak grammar. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and just take you over here. Put you in the water. Have a nice bath. So now with that done, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode on that note. Next time on Let's Play Super Mario 64, we'll enter our next world here in the game, Lethal Lava Land. I'll see you guys next time.